Hello, Noah here, and welcome back to Conflict of Interest. Last time we left off, we went against Francisca in court, and I'm trying to remember who the witness was, who we cross-examined last time. I'm trying to remember. Net, who was it? I can't remember. It's been a few days.
It was Drazen.
Drazen, yes, him. Oh, he's so forgettable. No, I'm just kidding. But we... Sorry, that was mean. We cross-examined him last time, and he had quite a bit to say about the autopsy report. And now we're going to cross-examine Finegan Hood, because he was the witness to the murder from a month ago, the one of Guildenstern, because that is the one we're focusing on right now. Because according to the prosecution and just the court in general, they seem to think that Rosencrantz murder has been solved when it really hasn't. But that's how it always goes. We're gonna get back to it eventually. But
We also learned the identity of Guildenstern.
oh yeah, we did. It was who was it? I'm trying to remember. I'll get it eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, not those ones. Virgil Black. It was Virgil Black. Oh man, a few days of not playing just completely resets my brain.
It's all right.
Yeah, he died, and I'm quite sad about that because we're not going to get to see him again. I mean,
He was fun.
but I want to discuss some theories before we start. So, first, about who I think did this. I'm probably going to go with... I don't think he did it, but he's definitely hiding something. I think the culprit might either be Christoph Gavin, as I said, because he planted a card there, this one, to throw us off. Or it could just be Francisco Menderes himself. It could be the mastermind himself setting up this entire thing. But we're not going to know that until we continue. So we're going to continue right now. A lot of crazy stuff we're discussing in there. Ignoring me won't work forever. I hope you realize that.
You want my thoughts?
It would be a nice change.
Fine then.
Wow, he's actually going to talk to us? Oh.
What the heck was that?
Oh no.
Bringing up Luciano. Are you trying to get me killed?
I had no idea you two even knew each other.
You're setting me up. I don't know why you've dragged it out this long, but you're doing just that. Well, no chance in this, so just get the hell out of my face and finish already.
I'm working my butt off in there. Maybe it's not for you, but it's working. The least I could get from you is a good luck.
You oddly need it.
Did you order Luciano to carry out those assassinations?
If I say no, you won't believe me, will you? Not after all that. Doesn't matter now. I'm a dead man either way, thanks to you.
I'm not scheming against you. If you're innocent... And he's tuned me out once more.
I thought once the prosecution dropped the killer bomb, it would all be over.
Trucy, I have an apology. I made a promise to you that if I ever thought he was guilty, I would quit.
Are you breaking it?
So far, he's been suspicious, and there's plenty of evidence, but... Well, there's still a lot that's unanswered. There are too many questions remaining. This whole thing with MN6 and the Rivales family, it's affecting a bunch of people. The killer had nothing to do with it, but somebody needs to find the truth.
And you think that somebody is you?
At this point, it might have to be.
That's all I needed to hear. I'm with you to the end, no matter what.
I can't give up. Not yet. I won't let you down, Jimmy. You were willing to go as far as you did. I won't let it go to waste. There he is. Okay, my food is here. I have to go downstairs and go get it. I'll be right back.
Good, you'll need it.
this trial could go for a while because of this fucking goofball. He's gonna lie so much, and it's gonna be awful, and I'm gonna love it.
We'll see just how far.
All right.
Recording?
Yep. It was just recording the whole time, so it's fine.
I just want to point out that in the end credits of Case 3, I believe Trucy said, I may not be able to help Daddy with the next case, but the one after that, for sure. And here we are.
I was gonna talk about that, but I just forgot. It slipped my mind.
No worries.
There is something else I want to talk about, though. So last time I said that I would change this guy's voice a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make his voice sound deeper in tone. Because I think that just kind of fits him more, his personality. I'm going to be trying to go for, like, Captain Barbossa from the Pirates of the Caribbean series.
Ooh, that'll be fun.
So you said you haven't watched the Pirates of the Caribbean series, though.
I saw the
Black Pearl?
I saw the Black Pearl. I did see the first 3 movies. That's it.
Oh, those are kind of the only ones that matter. Because they're the best ones.
Okay. All right.
Let me see here. The code is more what you'd call guidelines than actual rules. There we go. That I am. Shall I state me name and job for you? Please do. Glad to see you're prepared. I've been in many a court, and after all these years, it feels just like yesterday. Ah, so you're really prepared.
The witness is a former defense attorney. I'd be disappointed if he wasn't.
Hold up, ma'am. I can introduce myself just fine. You might have some You might have some Egypt witnesses. Egypt?
Egypt. You had it.
Egypt witnesses, but I'm not the same. Please give me the same respect I'd give you.
Please continue.
Name's Finegan
that was
Hood.
restrained of her.
I guess I was an attorney at some point, but those days are long gone and not worth speaking of. What do you do now? Now, I guess it's just me and me daughter. I do the odd job here and there, but I've got enough saved up I can make it by. Thought about taking up piano playing, I did. Heard there's a club with a new opening. How coincidental? How coincidental? Wouldn't that be ironic? Mr. Hood, speaking of your daughter, you two live next door to the defendant, correct? Hi, we're the only 2 houses there. Just the 3 of us living in that lot. We don't get too many visitors.
The 2 houses are rather isolated, are they not?
Yes, we're a ways from the big city. You'd have to go out of your way to be there.
Jameson had an apartment in the city. Why would he come out so far? To meet with somebody who lived there, of course, the suspect. Yesterday's witness confirmed this.
Aye, mighty suspicious Gladys Porter to be there.
Mr. Hood?
Porter shan't have been there without reason, aye? She was up to something.
Witness, you've been left out of the proceedings until now. How did you come by that name?
Oh, well, there were Mr. Wright who told me. Fuck. Our actions are coming up to bite us.
Well, see, I've seen what happens if you lie and go down that route. If he says that he witnessed Jameson.
Oh yeah, that would kind of make us look silly.
Oh yes.
That would make us look very
it's
silly.
Not consequential.
I know from him that Miss Porter witnessed the Rosencrantz murder. What were you gonna say?
It's just different dialogue, but it doesn't disrupt anything.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh no. Ah!
There is a reason we wanted to keep him out of the loop. Did you ever think this might alter his testimony today?
It seemed like a good idea at the time. Better than lying to him. Ah!
And you wonder why I always kept you off my crime scenes.
At least the witness knows the truth. You haven't tried to mislead him. But you better hope this doesn't make problems for us. I'll have my eyes on you today. I'll keep that in mind.
Like it ever matters.
Ugh. Save states, my beloved. If I'd lied, he'd still have checked, and then I'd be in some sort of other trouble. I should have known he'd get the answers eventually. Now it's biting me in the rear.
The witness's testimony will cover the murder of Virgil Black. He did not see the actual death, but his testimony will still be significant. I'm sure you don't need me to instruct you what to do from here.
Not at all, miss. 'Twill be easy. Mr. Hood used to be an attorney like myself. I don't know how good he was, but I shouldn't underestimate him. I know he's a crafty man.
I can voice Phoenix if you need a little less workload. Just saying.
Okay. I'll think about it. I'll see how I feel.
All right.
I was inside the night with my daughter. I heard some people talking out in the woods and thought it was odd. When I went to check, I heard 2 people next to a bush. There were 2 men. I didn't want to get involved in no dirty business, so I got right out of there. The next day, I went to where they were and found that grave. 2 men. One of them was my client. It was mighty dark, so I couldn't tell. I won't lie and say I knew it were him. A bloomin' fool lie that'd be. You'd catch me right out.
It's reasonable to assume they were the killer and the victim.
That's supposition, and you know it, Francisca.
Oh? Witness, when did you see this?
It were the 9th of September, I believe. That's the date Mr. Black was killed.
Fudge Black was murdered that same night and buried in that same spot. Who's supposing now, Phoenix White? Sorry, Mr. Phoenix White.
It were murder, right. The body was there in the hole when I checked. How come you didn't tell anybody about this for a whole month? Methinks you can guess why, Your Honor. My neighbor's in organized crime. When a body shows up, it'd be a mistake to get involved.
You've come clean now, so nobody will blame you. You saw him with his killer, and that is all that matters.
Weren't you just arguing that nobody but the killer would know the location of the grave?
We did mention that, but as you'll find, Mr. Hood's alibi is rather impeccable. He simply cannot be the killer.
Well, I think it weakens your case. Is that why you didn't want Mr. Hood testifying? Phoenix, you are just poking the bear over and over. Oh, don't harass the lady, Mr. Wright. She's correct. The police have spoken to me and Jane, and we've all checked out. I wasn't gone near long enough to commit a murder and hide the body. So don't try and say I'm the baddie, sir. It won't work. A month is a long time. A lot could have happened in that period. Aye, such a shame that is. Wish I could tell you more. Guess you'll have to prove it all the hard way. That's why Francisca didn't want him speaking. What's so funny?
Oh, just that he said, you'll have to prove it the hard way. This is all a game to him.
We always do. Oh my god. She has just as little idea of what he might say as I do. I don't know what sort of game Mr. Hood's playing, but this is clever of him. Maybe he's playing Ace Attorney Conflict of Interest. I'm not sure, though. I notice he's not trying to accuse Mr. Yossarian at all, just a mysterious figure. By admitting he doesn't know who he saw, he can claim ignorance no matter what goes down. He's going to be careful to not leave any contradictions. Come to think of it, I don't know if I see any.
You look stumped. Mind if I help?
Trucy is net confirmed. What did you have in mind?
Oh, just you wait.
Oh!
Something along the lines of this!
Oh, that's what we're doing, okay. Is that...
Yep, I swiped it before we left today. Thought it might come in handy. I tried it once before when he wasn't looking. I found out that I have the same ability he does. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I wonder why. I wonder why you two have such similar abilities and why you look so similar. I have no idea why that could be. Maybe Capcom knows. Oh, I really should get around to telling them one of these days. God damn it, Phoenix. Phoenix is Capcom. We'll get to telling them some days, guys. We'll get around to it. Fucking... Be careful with it. That's one thing we don't want to lose.
It's not my fault he doesn't notice when you take it right off his arm. At least I'm giving it back. Imagine if he ran into a real thief.
That would be quite the crossover.
I wish. I'll just watch the witness and point out any strange movements he's making. How hard can it be?
I don't see any other options right now. Why don't you give it a shot?
Trucy mode, activate!
I wonder how they're gonna pull this off in Pyrite. That sounds kind of difficult.
You'll see. You'll see. So yeah, sorry. Hey Noah,
Yep.
you don't get to play as Apollo, but at least you get to use his ability.
Oh, I miss the horned boy.
You Turnabout Curtain gave you enough horned boys.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Gave me 2 of them.
Uh,
If you don't get that joke, go watch my Turnabout Curtain Let's Play.
Yes, watch it, folks. All right. What exactly were you up to?
What, isn't this my cross-examination? Up to now, there's a nasty accusation. You're just doing what anybody does on their evening. Just having a meal and getting ready for the night. We weren't doing nothing wrong or up to anything, as you put it. I never would have left it if it weren't for hearing the people outside.
I don't see anything strange yet. I better keep looking.
What the fuck? Okay, you get to hear Trucy's. Well, that's just kind of like a basic-ass thought, so...
What was so weird about that?
Oh my god. She's actually doing the... That's so cool.
It sure is.
We don't get many people in our area. Someone out there, I don't know, someone's probably already done it. Make a fan game or a fan case where Trucy is the attorney. That sounds fun.
So far, this is as I've searched high of the fan cases I've seen. This is the only one I've found.
Oh, that's lame.
I know.
It's so off the beaten path that it already startles me when there's visitors. One voice, let alone 2, I don't know. It's enough to perk me interests. Yeah, know who me neighbor is, so I get a bit on edge when strange folks are poking about. That's all it was, really. Just me being cautious. And that's why I went outside to see who they were.
That's an interesting way to say it. You heard them by the bush?
Did indeed. Their voices are burned into me memory since it was about all I could tell of them.
Would you say either of their voices was distinct?
I could tell them apart rather well, too. Couldn't put me finger on it at the time. But something about those 2 chaps meeting by that bush just set off alarms for me. Oh. That kind of scared me a little bit.
Ah. That was it. That was his nervous twitch. Now, I just have to show him the bracelet and find it.
This is why I can't play horror games. I get scared easily.
Aw. Me too.
Yeah, I'll get back to that in a second. I want to press everything, though.
And then you didn't return until later?
That's right. I left and came back the next morning. I found a pile of fresh dirt, and after a bit of poking, realized what it was. Never spoke a word or it to his soul, thinking what might have happened. I know what happens to folks who rot on the Mafia. It isn't good, no sir.
That's not too noteworthy. I just need to find some kind of nervous tick. I can find it by using the bracelet at the right place.
Okay, thank you, Tutorial-chan.
Then we can find out what's really going on.
Okay, cool. I believe it was this one. All right, Pyrite.
Yep.
How are you going to accomplish this? How are you going to do this? How is this going to work? Oh. Oh.
They accomplished it. Ruffle
Oh.
pulled it off.
Damn. Oh, it's kind of hard to see on the tiny screen, though.
It's all right. I'll help you if you need it.
Okay.
Can't seem to find it. I should keep looking.
Let me think about where his tick would be. I feel like it would be one of his fingers or maybe the scarf.
All right. There has to be some kind of nervous tick I need to look for.
And what part of his testimony would be strange? Let me focus on this finger. It's also the fact that his eyes keep moving back and forth, but I can't tell if that's like an actual nervous tic or if that's just his sprite. Well, no, they're looking back very frequently actually. Hold on. Oh my god! Oh man, I thought that was it.
Can't seem to find it. I should keep looking. Okay.
Okay, where am I? Okay, scarf.
Oh, okay. All right, so I'll be ready with the answer when you need it.
Okay. Maybe I'll try the thumb this time? Nope, that's not it. I don't know if there's really a way for you to hint me on this. Maybe just kind of give me a general area to look around.
General area.
Maybe it's his necklace,
okay.
maybe? I'll try his necklace. I'll try his necklace, and then if that's not close, then I'll ask for a general area.
All right.
No. Okay, I would like a general area of where I'm supposed to be looking.
His face.
His face, okay. Oh, wait, no, I also need to keep in mind that usually the tic has something to do with the testimony itself as well, not just like a nervous tic. Maybe his hand clenches up? Or no,
You
no,
certainly
it's his face.
could. You certainly could, but this is...
It's subtle?
It's, yeah, it's quite
Oh,
a leap.
his eyes stopped moving.
So they did. They're darting.
I knew it was something with eyes.
Here we go.
Oh my god, that sound effect is so adorable.
It sure is. Mr. Hood, throughout your whole testimony, your eyes have been darting back and forth. It almost seemed like you weren't sure.
Did I? Well, me lass, you can't ever be 100% certain. It was mighty dark, it was. I could barely see me hand in front of me face.
That's funny. There was a point where your eyes weren't shifty. When you mentioned the two men.
Aye?
When you said that, you looked directly at the defense bench, right at me.
I suppose I was. Didn't even notice until you just pointed it out. I don't see what it means. Why do you think I'd be staring at you? It doesn't mean nothing.
I think it does. You were reconsidering something. You were staring because...
The last option.
You can go for it if you want some funny dialogue.
Uh-huh.
Mr. Hood, you're a dirty old man!
Damn. I deny it.
You were staring at me, you pervert! Keep your eyes off!
As ye insist, child. But I fail to see why you should call me out for this. It has nothing to do with a murder.
Oh, I know. I just wanted to get that out there.
Damn. Trying to stay on track, please. I didn't come here to take accusations so low as that. Hilarious. Huh. Well, I mean, he has seen her before, but I don't know how that's related.
Neither do I.
So I guess she reminds him of somebody, but I don't know who.
Neither.
Apollo
Not
was the
supposed to know.
criminal. Apollo was the criminal.
No shots. You saw me and had to stop to think because I reminded you of the people you saw.
Actually, wait, no. I want to see the other dialogue option first.
All right. You thought you'd seen me before, and you were trying to remember where.
I've seen you just yesterday, in fact.
Yes, but not how I mean. You saw me at the murder.
Wait.
I killed Mr. Black.
Wait. Trucy. Trucy. Trucy!
Control your daughter, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Some people might actually believe her. Like the judge.
Why am I the one getting punished? Hilarious.
Because Franny would never hit a waifu.
Stop joking around and get back to the point.
Okay. Just go ahead and say it again.
All right. You saw me and had to stop to think because I reminded you of the people you saw.
I'm glad I went through all those dialogue options. That was great.
Thank you for doing so.
You reminded me? How so?
Well, because I'm a girl.
Hi, didn't I say they were both men?
That's right. But what if one wasn't?
I want to see his dastardly shit-eating grin smile. That sprite. It's so good looking.
I have a feeling we'll be seeing it soon.
That sounds a little silly now, doesn't it? How could I confuse a grown man for a teenage girl?
You said it was dark, so dark you could barely see in front of you. The rest of your testimony focuses on the sounds you heard.
And if I couldn't see so well, how would I know who it was?
By her voice, of course! Even if you couldn't see them, you could hear them. Sorry, that's how slow Discord's being.
Oh boy.
You weren't sure you really saw two men and had to reassure yourself by looking over at me.
Think so, do ya? What makes you so sure it were a woman's voice I heard?
Well, it's a 50-50 shot.
Makoto's the killer. I knew it.
And I can't think of any other reason you'd be staring at me while talking about her. We tried the other two options.
No. No. Let me cook. Maya's the killer. So sure are you? But yes, you're right. It's 50-50, isn't it?
Funny story about that. There, in contempt of court, at some point when you're cross-examining Schadenfreude, there's an Easter egg where you can say that the mastermind is Maya.
What the
And the entire court kind of breaks down. Phoenix says a line like, he says something like, I know it's crazy, but just let it sink in for a moment. And Edgeworth says, there's nothing to sink into. Other than the sinking ship of your train of thought. And
Oh my god.
and then Phoenix says at some point, damn you court records, you led me astray. I thought my deal was foolproof. And Schadenfreude yells, oh, absolutely, foolproof through and through. You sure know how to pick your sources, son. And then the judge says, for something this outrageous, I sentence you to a game crash. And then Pyrite quits.
I gotta go back and do that. I have to figure out when that is, and I'm gonna make a video on it. Oh my god, that sounds wonderful. That sounds wonderful.
I look forward to it. Sorry for spoiling all the dialogue.
No, it's okay.
All right.
Maybe you're correct, Miss Trucy. I'll entertain you on that. I'd say I can tell a man's voice from a girl's, but perhaps not. When you get down to it, it doesn't change a thing. Not sure I 100% agree with your police work there, Mr. Hood. Aye. If one person was a woman, it changes a lot.
You know what? I think so too. I like your daughter's theory that it was a woman. I'll change my statement to that.
You don't believe they were
Oh, here it comes, guys. I'm losing the accent. One of them was going to drop at some point.
You don't believe they were both men?
Could be. Might have not been. I couldn't say just based on a voice I heard barely over a month ago. It's true she did notice me eyes were wandering. Could be I thought it subconsciously. But well, we'll say it were a woman, aight? I'm not afraid to take that chance. Let's just see where idea leads, shall we?
Thank you, Trucy. I'll take it from here.
Glad to help.
Okay. Did you recognize either of them?
Nay, thought I said that. The man? No. The woman? Don't trifling know. Never seen either before, aye? Not that I could see well anyway.
We can assume who both were, the killer and victim.
The killer and victim? Aha! Got you, Mr. Hood. Well. I'm not 100% sure on what Phoenix has realized, and I haven't, but... I think it might be because this testimony is supposed to be supporting the fact that Alan is the killer. And we can't say that it was Alan and a woman, because the person who died was a man. So I'm going to present Alan's profile to this.
Nice.
Got it!
Good job.
You know the thing about the suspect and victim. They were both men.
It would seem so.
Yet you've just labeled one of them as female. Something's not lining up.
Oh, I see. That's a contradiction right there, it is.
That creepy grin. It has to be him saying, "You've just activated my trap card."
Now remember, my memories aren't so clear. But Miss Trucy says one suspect might have been a woman. And she's right, 50% chance. If we do believe one was a woman, we'd have to assume the man or the two were the victim. Aye, only logical. The man was the one found buried, so yes. Aye, and who does that leave us? The killer.
The defendant is not a woman, not even close.
No, he isn't, is he? Look at it like that, and it must be someone else. As I recall, the police think the same person killed the two people. Why was that?
Two bodies were hidden together.
I started turning the W's into V's for Hood's dialogue there. Let's hope that doesn't keep happening.
Not definitive, but it makes sense. Too much coincidence otherwise. Aye, it must be someone who knew about both murders. Yes, that would make sense.
I told him that in his house. He's using what I told him to make this argument.
So let's work backwards, aye. Instead of asking who knew about Guildenstern, we should look at anybody who might be linked to your Rosencrantz. Seems to me someone with him must be the one.
Both murders? Rosencrantz? Oh no.
See it, do ya? Who's the woman involved with the Rosencrantz murder then? Only one.
Miss Porter didn't kill anyone.
She did die about the crime. Couldn't she be covering for herself? Seems suspicious to me, Your Honor.
Damn it. We shouldn't have told him the truth.
It wouldn't have mattered.
Ugh. Yeah, he probably would have come up with something. This crafty little bastard.
I know Minerva and Mr. Jameson aren't female.
You're just accusing her because she's a woman? That makes no sense.
Not because she's a woman, Mr. Wright. Because she's a woman who witnessed and lied about Mr. Jameson's death. If he can pull out another lass who was around for that, I'll concede.
But there wasn't. She's the only one.
Exactly. Then it must be her. You're the one who said I saw a woman. I'm just following the logical path. If you back down and decide we're a man after all, I'll stop going for Miss Porter.
What a bastard.
Ugh.
Stop this at once. The prosecution's case is against the defendant and no one else.
I love this guy.
No one else.
No, it's just no one else. There's no
All right.
no fun. Oh, okay, well maybe. You know what? Do you want to take Francisco then?
Sure.
Go for it.
Aye, it could still be him.
You know what? At least for a part of this episode, I was performing a juggling act.
You were doing great.
Then-
You're having a good time. I'll only take over if you're tired.
I'm not tired, so I'll just keep going.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter to me who we choose to pursue. So, Mr. Wright, what'd you say? Did I or didn't I hear it to men?
If I say no, he keeps going for Miss Porter. I know she didn't do it. If I say yes, then Miss Porter is clear, but Mr. Yossarian is the only suspect. I'm back where I started, and Francisco won't let Hood continue after this. The only way for me to avoid a dead end is to play along. Well, Mr. Hood, I'm inclined to say no.
What?
You know I won't let you in the trial yet. I have to prevent it somehow.
You could save yourself a whole lot of trouble. Just say either's a killer and it's over.
Not going to happen.
I'm not giving up either.
You! How dare you! Your Honor, silence him this instant!
Overruled. The witness may speak. We have a new suspect in addition to our first. A suspicious woman with good insurance complicates everything, especially after how Miss Porter led us on the other day.
Ugh.
Everything I told him is coming back. He's using it all against me.
Think about that. It might actually work in your favor. You might be planning this all on the fly.
I just don't know what his goal is. Is he just lying for the fun of it? Is he like Kokichi? Or is he like a different type of Kokichi who's planning something from the very beginning? What's his goal here? Why? You know what? We're gonna see. We're gonna find out. He's done a pretty good job if he's just improvising.
How long are you going to make us wait, Ropfa? So far, but you don't believe Miss Porter's the killer, do you?
Mr. Porter.
Whoops. Not after what she told us in the detention center.
There's no way it was her.
Maybe you finally have somebody worth defending. You have to keep pressing this man until he folds.
He's a defense attorney.
That's possible, Trucy.
He's a defense attorney just like me. He probably knows my tactics, and he probably has used similar tactics. He knows what he's doing in here. He's not going to crack for a while.
Exactly. He's trying to get her for some reason.
Somebody to defend. I can work with that. She's not here to see it, but I won't ignore this accusation. I can't. Your Honor, it couldn't be Gladys Porter.
Stubborn boy. Don't let Miss Porter distract you from the real goal. You're not in this for her.
I'll defend whoever needs defending. Right now, that's her. You say Miss Porter had to kill Black and Jameson? Well, she lacks something very important for both. A motive. The running theory is that both incidents are connected to the Ravalis family. A good deal of evidence so far seems to indicate that's true. Personally, I'm inclined to agree with the prosecution on that much.
I see, but how does that concern Gladys Porter?
She would never side with the Ravalis family, not even if her life depended on it. They literally took her sister.
There you go.
They were responsible for her sister's death. She's devoted to stopping them.
Another vigilante? Don't we have enough of those already?
Are you certain of this?
Ask Detective Waters. Her sister happened to be his late wife.
Ha! Take that, Finegan Hood, you fool! The killer couldn't possibly be her. It was the suspect.
I'm the fool, am I? At least I'm not relying on a circumstantial motive to support myself. Is there really solid proof of this being the Ravalis clan?
We have a calling card and a letter.
Oh, and I suppose they were found beside the victim. Did the family admit to it all? Forgive me if I'm wrong, and please do correct me.
No.
Of course not! They'd only put the card out for a public murder. And the way the body was buried, you know the killer wanted to hide it. I'm no betting man, but I'd wager good money the card was found with me neighbor. Yes, they were in his home. Ah, then no one can definitely say they were the culprits. You'll have to do better than that, ma'am. No one can say Miss Porter didn't have a motive, can they?
Ugh.
What about the shovel? We don't have her fingerprints. How would she get that?
Well, now, I don't believe you'd be asking that if you had anybody's prints beside the suspects. Tell me now, do you?
No. Just his. He's running this whole thing right now. What?
Then you could use that exact same argument for any possible killer who isn't my neighbor. If you assume he's innocent, somebody must have broken into his home, stole the shovel, and planted it. Why? To frame him, I presume. Committing perjury during his trial? Sounds like a grudge, yes, sir.
You're so confident just because you might have seen a woman.
It weren't me who thought up the idea. We've got 2 suspects, lad, me neighbor and Porter. Somebody's a murderer. Somebody has to answer for it all.
Any accusation warrants looking into. Can you back this up apart from mere speculation?
If you want me to extrapolate, I'll gladly oblige.
Francisco wants Mr. Usarian guilty. Hood's aiming for an entirely different person, and I'm defending them both. Are all the cards on the table yet?
As usual, Phoenix has to do all the work. Is Hood living up to the hype for you?
Yes, I love him! I love him! Oh my god. Oh. Hood, if you keep this up, I might like you more than Kristoff.
Damn.
No, really. No, I'm serious. He's so entertaining.
That's saying something.
Yeah, I know.
No, I didn't know neither the killer nor the victim, but VOD logic says who they were. I heard their voices earlier and went to check who was out in the woods. They were right at the spot where the body was found. Prosecution says both cases are connected, so Rosencrantz' killer must have been there. Among suspect, victim, and witness, Porter's the only woman. It has to be her.
I see. Prosecution did explain the 2 cases must be connected. It would only be natural to have the same suspect.
Miss Porter was never accused of anything more than perjury.
Why not? People don't lie to a court unless they've got something to hide. Did you ever think her motives may have been less than noble?
How does the prosecution respond?
This is ridiculous! Gladys Porter is not the one on trial.
I'm sure you've seen your share of witnesses to be found to be the culprit.
That is true. We won't know until we've delved further. Does this Miss Porter have an alibi for the Guildenstern murder?
I'm not sure. We only just got his autopsy completed.
Bailiff, please contact Detective Waters and have him bring her here. We may need her.
About that? She's kind of left the country.
Right away, Your Honor. I was expelled from Hope's Peak Academy and sent to God knows where. I can get around.
God damn it. God fucking damn it, Nagito.
I had to.
God, I love your bits as the bailiff. I love that you chose Nagito's voice for that. That's amazing.
I got inspired by Nico B. He's the one who started it.
Now let's continue with the witness's statement.
This is absurd.
Examine all angles, prosecutor. It's the only way to be certain. The defense, it seems, wants to consider a female culprit.
But not Miss Porter.
You changed the circumstances and now I'm showing you where it leads. I'll give up on it when you do.
Come to think of it, it didn't matter if he saw a man or a woman. If it wasn't Miss Porter, he might be accusing Mr. Usarian or anyone else. Is he playing this as he goes, or is there a bigger plan? And why is he doing it? Ugh. Okay, guy. Okay, man. Okay. Alright. Refresh my memory. How did you come to this conclusion?
Well, my friend, there's only so many suspects it could be. I saw 2 people at what's later a murder scene. You can only assume they'd be black and his killer. The murderer must be connected to the more recent case. The murderer, that is, if she were female, must be Gladys Porter. Are you satisfied?
A little, but why don't we talk some more about... Motherfucker, let's talk about you. The witness. You. Let's hear about what you saw and how you saw it.
Well, if it behooves you, alright.
Okay, I'm gonna make a
I
save here.
witnessed it all from a safe distance, didn't recognize either of them.
Oh shit, yeah.
I witnessed it all from a safe distance away. I didn't recognize either of them.
There you go.
Where were you standing?
Show me a map and I'll point it right out. Amongst the trees here, off the side from the trail.
You know that's where Gladys Porter said she was, right?
Yeah.
I know it was a month ago, but still. Oh, wait, no, the
Even
judge
the
is
judge
saying what I'm
remembers.
saying. The judge is saying what I'm saying. Oh my god, again.
Those were where Miss Porter said she hid.
Was she? I suppose it's a decent hiding spot.
Miss Porter followed the victim there. How did you end up in the middle of the forest?
Situation may have been a mite similar. I heard the voices in the woods and went to check. Just followed the trail till I got there.
You heard them from your home?
Those woods are very quiet. With the window open, you can hear anything.
Anything, huh? Wait a minute. Hold on. Not that one. This is the month ago. Strength. Aw, damn it. I was gonna hope it was like a gunshot or something.
Ah, damn it.
Do you investigate every sound you hear outside?
I would if it's a voice I don't recognize. Not many people come to my area, you know. It's not paranoia, just being sure there's no trouble.
You saw them speaking and left almost right away. Then the next day you came back. Why?
They gave me a bad feeling. I knew something was brewing between the two. I wanted to know why they'd been there, but only after they'd left. Didn't want to get involved and just make it worse.
You did that all based on a hunch?
Well, a bloke died, so it looks me intuition was correct.
You were curious enough to come back and dig up a body. It must have been a really strong bad feeling, if that's all it was.
They were right at the spot where the body was.
No, I already said that. What were they discussing?
Oh, I couldn't say. I couldn't hear none of it.
But you saw their silhouettes. Could you tell anything from the body language?
Both man and woman were standing around the bush. It appeared the man was trying to be all intimidating and like. They were shouting a bit, but I couldn't make it out.
That doesn't really sound like Virgil Black.
Truth be told, I was more worried for her than him, but the lady wasn't pleased none.
Shouting? Intimidating? Mr. Black must have been pretty wound... Rafpa, you're reading my mind! But that's odd. What happened next?
I were about to step in when I got the sinking feeling in the pit of my stomach. You know, I had to bolt right out of there and none of us might have lived.
All of you.
I just felt bad, real bad. Like intervening would get me and the lady killed. And the man did die, didn't he?
That sounds very frightening.
Virgil Black was a serial killer, but I don't see him massacring innocent people for no reason. This doesn't sound like Circulante at all. That's what I'm saying, man. Again, Rafpa is just reading my mind.
You might be capable of writing the way he does.
Oh man, I could only wish. I have such big ambitions.
I know.
Are we certain it had to be the same killer?
We've covered this. The chances of somebody else unknowingly stumbling across Black are slim.
Slim, but not out of the question. What about Mr. Hood? He knew where the body was.
Aye, and as it so happens, I've got a nice little alibi. We never go wandering those woods for no good reason. I was with me daughter the whole while. Don't forget I live there.
The odds are heavily in my favor. 1,000,000,000 to 1, I'd say.
Never tell me the odds, Francisca.
The burden of proof is on you to prove they're not linked. It makes too much sense otherwise.
It'd have to be the same killer, and as you see...
You gave in pretty easily on that earlier. Are you sure the person you saw was female?
Maybe. But if not, that takes us back to square one, don't it?
Square one?
If it's a woman, he accuses Miss Porter. If it's a man, it means our client killed both victims.
Neither of those sound very good.
Aye, a nasty little Morton's fork for you. What you so worked up for Miss Porter for? She's not your client, my friend. Just give up on her.
Defending one person is no good if innocent people still get put away. I'm not going to let you accuse Miss Porter.
Stubborn lad.
I'd say the same. What are you trying to do? That's what I've been saying this whole testimony, man. What's your goal?
Some defense attorney you turned out to be, huh?
Well, I mean, we don't know whether he was telling the truth or lying, but he did say that he did a forgery. So...
Yeah.
And again, it could just be a Kokichi situation. He's just lying for the hell of it, but Who fucking knows? Who fucking knows? Hold on. I need to change this statement. Let's hear about the victim. The victim. Let's hear how you arrived at that specific conclusion.
Well, if it behoved you, alright. The victim, your Guildenstern, were Virgil Black, as the lady prosecutor stated.
Could you describe the man you saw?
He was a big one, alright. Kinda funny looking, not much else I can say. Can't recall if you were the same one I found while digging in the hole. It was mighty dark, and so I couldn't make out too many details.
You're not doing a very good job of proving your point.
Sorry.
Do you know what Virgil Black looked like?
Don't watch too much news, so no. I'd say if he's the man I found, he'd look like that. Wish I could tell you more, really, I do.
There's no arguing that Mr. Black was buried there. Can we be sure that Mr. Hood ever saw him alive? Huh. Well, I'll check the other one, just to be sure. The killer. Let's hear how you arrived at that specific conclusion.
Well, if it behoves you. Right. The killer would be Gladys Porter, of course, who is at the other murder as well.
You're just going after her because she witnessed the other crime?
She was there, lad. She must be considered a suspect. And she committed perjury, too. Mighty suspicious, if you ask me.
We have a mountain of evidence against the defendant. He's guilty no matter if she lied or not.
Miss, I believe you need me here because you don't have any evidence for Guildenstern. You don't know your man killed Virgil Black, correct?
Ridiculous! You can't connect her to the crime.
She's linked with Rosenkrantz. By your own logic, the murders had the same culprit, so she must be suspected. Really, ma'am, how often have I got to say it?
Why you?
Miss Von Karma, please, no need to be so angsty. The logic holds. Perhaps we'd better continue to the next point.
Yeah, just back off and let Phoenix do all the work, as every prosecutor does.
Oh my god. Well, I have one idea.
I can
I'll
give
try
you a
it.
hint.
I'll try my one idea first.
All right.
I don't know if this is gonna go anywhere or if I'm even on the right track, but me and Phoenix were on the same wavelength. Big and intimidating doesn't sound like Virgil Black, so I'm gonna try it. Got it! Oh
Good job.
Oh my god. I'm so good.
You could have also presented the autopsy report, and that would have worked too.
Ah, cool. You description. Your description of Mr. Black sounds very off. What made you so afraid of him?
Well, he were a serial murderer, weren't he? I didn't recognize him at the moment, but some people just have a spooky demeanor.
Not this man at the moment. You claim the man was standing, shouting, and being intimidating. These all seem very strange. Mr. Black's autopsy states that he'd already been stabbed in the lung. It wasn't fatal. That is also true. He wouldn't have been able to shout. If you were stabbed in the lung, wouldn't you find it hard to speak at all, much less shout? If anything, he should have been lying on the ground, gasping for breath. Well, this all kind of assumes that what Finegan Hood witnessed was the exact moment of the murder, which I don't believe he did. But we'll see.
What do you say this suggests?
If Mr. Hood's memories are correct, there's only one conclusion to draw. It was not Mr. Black that he saw.
The victim was buried at precisely that spot. Who else could it have been?
Honestly, it could have been anybody.
Anybody?
Why do we assume nobody else could pass through the area? Nobody has claimed to have seen the moment of death. The witness has yet to give a satisfactory description of who he saw.
Nay, I haven't. But the body were there the following day. Somebody killed the man.
Somebody. Mr. Black couldn't do any shouting, so who did you see? There must have been another man who hadn't been stabbed. He must be a suspect too.
Ah, there's a beauty. A man who might be the killer.
Oh, he's gonna bring up Mr. Yusarian, isn't he?
Whoops.
Do you suppose he's also the killer of Rosenkrantz too?
Whoops.
Oh, that might be Mr. Yusarian.
The prosecution is fine with our original theory. The witness saw the defendant instead.
The ambiguity is killing me. That did nothing! No!
Damn it.
I'm assuming we gotta contradict quite a few of these statements, actually. That's what I'm guessing. We gotta switch up these statements and contradict each one. Let's switch it to the witness for now. I'll leave that as it is, and I'll just go through the testimony, because, I mean, it could be that I have to switch up the statements and then contradict each one, but it could also be that there are multiple contradictions in this testimony that are in other places.
Question is where?
That's the question. Do we bring up the killer card?
Where do we use it?
I was just thinking here because, to be honest,
okay.
I'm not really sure where we're supposed to be going right now because because we just tried to contradict something and nothing happened. So I'll try it. Bring up the killer.
I object to this testimony.
Oh, no. This statement seems important. Let's accuse Waters again. No, I'm joking. I'm completely joking. I'm completely joking.
All right.
Let's accuse your daughter.
Ha ha ha.
Ah, damn. Wait, no. This does actually bring up a question. He should have been worrying about his cut injury. He had the injury on the night of the 1 month ago murder, right? He should have been worrying about that, not some voices.
You'd think.
I'm gonna present the bottle here. Damn it. Okay, let me see this. Yeah, this is literally the same scenario. Is there anything wrong with this, though? I can't see anything wrong with that. And it makes sense that you didn't recognize either of them. Okay, yeah, I'm stumped. I would like a hint.
Let's look at each statement individually and let's discuss them.
No.
Are you okay?
I just dropped my fourth. I'm okay. I was getting a big old bite of my food while you were giving me the hint. Okay. You didn't know either the killer or the victim, but logic says who they were.
Is there anything to attack in that statement?
The only thing I can think of is that he doesn't... He said he doesn't know what Virgil Black looks like.
Right, but he's saying, but logic says who they were.
Yes, that's true.
Okay,
so
that seems
too
ambiguous to attack, too general.
I witnessed it from a safe distance away. Didn't recognize either of them. That's basically kind of saying the same thing, and he could have witnessed it from there. I mean, it would be a long fucking walk to make, having to go there and back, and then go back the next day. I feel like that's too much, but I don't think that's really suspicious enough to make a contradiction out of.
Not in this statement, anyway.
You heard their voices and went to check who was out earlier. Or you heard their voices earlier and went to check out who was in the woods. Who was out in the woods? Oh my god. Again, it's a long walk. I'll try it. I'll see what happens.
There you go.
Was I right?
Yep.
I was gonna mention that it would be really hard to hear the voices from there, especially with how long of a walk that is. A 1 kilometer distance between each location. There's no fucking way, dude.
Exactly.
You couldn't hear those voices from your home. It simply wasn't possible.
Excuse me, what makes you say that? Sound travels in the forest.
Yes, but hearing human voices over a kilometer? I don't think so.
A kilometer?
That's the distance from his house to the crime scene. Even if they were screaming, they'd need megaphones for him to hear them.
Aye, the distance is far. The two must have passed by me home. I followed the noise till they stopped by the bush.
Are you sure? That goes against what you said earlier.
I heard the voices in the woods and went to check. Just followed the trail till I got there.
They were already in the woods, according to you at least.
What are you driving at?
Simple. Mr. Hood wasn't where he says he was.
I found the body and gave you this testimony, so I saw something. If you think I'm lying, just say it. Where do you think I was?
That's a damn good question. I have no fucking idea. You know what? I'm gonna go with the pure madness philosophy, which is you didn't see fucking anything and you're just making this all up.
Yeah, that's what I would guess, but apparently not.
Damn. Okay. I feel like I don't have enough information here to make a call on where he was, though. That's kind of the issue I'm having. I don't feel like I have enough.
Well.
Wait.
If he's not in.
Wait, what?
Okay.
No. Wait. No. Those are. Wait. No. What was weird about this photo was the fact that the footprints were overlapping each other. It wasn't these. Okay. Let me ignore that. That's not it. What were you gonna say before I just cut you off?
Well, if he wasn't in his house, then there's only... Your options are kind of narrowed down. If there's only a few places he could have been if it wasn't his house on that map. Was he in the suspect's house?
I wouldn't think so. I mean, he could have been, but there's not really any evidence to suggest he was there, because I do believe that Mr. Yossarian said that he himself brought the shovel back to his own house.
All right.
Wait, no, the prints are unidentifiable. Never mind. He could have been in the house, actually. Let me try that.
All right.
Damn.
Dang it.
Okay, I have another idea.
So if he was not in either house, he has to be somewhere in the woods, right?
He was at the grave because he could have brought the shovel back. But the shovel was from the recent murder. But it could have also been used as... I'll try the grave. Yeah!
Nice.
You were already right where you said you were. The crime scene.
Ha! That's what this outburst was for. I could have told you that.
That's right. He was in the woods the entire time.
Order! Witness, were you out there before you ever heard the voice, or before you heard the voices?
Aye, I was in the woods.
Then you lied.
No. Just confused events is all. That was all a month ago. Having a right hard time piecing it together in my mind.
He's been down in those Benadryls every day, huh?
Then you just forgot? Benadryls?
That'll be it, lass. It was the Benadryls. Don't you worry. It's all coming back as we speak.
He's experiencing withdrawal symptoms, I see. Your alibi is that you were inside with Jane, sorry.
We were. I
right.
told her to stay put inside, and she did. Can't rightly remember why I left the house, but I wasn't out for long. I came right back after seeing what I did. Jane was still there. There weren't enough time to go all the way out, back, and commit a murder. Ask her.
I see. The court will make a note of this.
You sneaky... How did you get out of that one? Oh my god, I love him. Oh, he's so cool. I know he's kind of like morally gray, but he's cool.
All right.
Mr. Hood, something just struck me. It's unlikely that either of the people you saw were who you claim they were. Not only is there a good chance you didn't see Mr. Black, but you didn't even witness the actual attack. Who's to say he wasn't dead long before you got there?
Who else would it have been? With the body found there, it couldn't be anybody but the killer and victim.
Maybe. Maybe not. As the witness has so insistently pointed out, his memories might be wrong. He did manage to somehow forget he was already in the woods when he stumbled across them.
Do you think there's something wrong with that?
Why was he out there to begin with? Witness, could you please answer that?
Couldn't rightly say.
I doubt you were just wandering around in the woods for no reason. There's only so many reasons you would be outside that late. I think you... I don't think he killed Black. That's too easy of an answer. That's too easy. We could accuse him, but I don't think it would go anywhere. Looking for something? I mean, he did cut his hand. He could have been maybe trying to go to the store or something to go buy some tissues to wipe up his hand, but he could have had something to clean his hand with in his house. Just taking a stroll? That seems like kind of a cop-out answer.
And he wouldn't be taking a stroll if he was injured.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're injured, you should take care of yourself, but some people, like, just, I don't know, they just take a walk and just take a second to rebrief. Some people do that, I would assume. But I'm going to go with this one for now. When you really get down to it, there's only two reasons. Wait, no, I want to hear the funny dialogue. You murdered Virgil Black.
Well, aren't you just brilliant? I was out there to kill the guy. And I suppose every word I've uttered has been a huge lie.
Exactly.
There's no evidence to incriminate the witness. None. Besides, his daughter's alibi coincides with his own.
Aye, I left the house, but not long enough to kill a buck and bury him. We were together the entire rest of the night.
The alibi remains. Neither the witness nor his daughter could have killed the victim. Mr. Wright, please think before making wild accusations next time.
He was taking a stroll. You weren't out there for any particular reason, just for a walk.
Aye, perhaps.
I don't think so.
Why not?
He had too much going on at home. They were getting ready for bed and having a late dinner. And he cut himself on that bottle, he'd be too busy.
As I said.
Your daughter has a point. Chances are he did not leave merely for recreation.
I said that word completely wrong.
I fail to see why you would bring this up. Please do not waste the court's time, Mr. Wright.
Yep. When you really get down to it, there's only two reasons you'd enter the woods. Either it was for your own leisure, or there was some more pressing matter. Okay, I'm starting to get tired. Can you take Francisca, please?
You bet.
A need or a want, and which do you suppose it was?
Your testimony thus far suggests you and your daughter were winding down for the night. On top of that, you just had a big mess in your home, which needed cleaning up. Now is not the time to be wandering around outside just because. You left your home because it was absolutely necessary. You needed to find something.
Don't be a silly lad. There weren't nothing to find out there.
When you were in the woods, you heard two voices. Why did you go to them?
Doesn't rightly matter now, does it?
I'd say it does. I think you recognized one voice and it was just who you were searching for.
He was looking for a person?
That's right, and I think I know who it was. All these cleverly hidden lies are about to unfold. I have them figured out. Mr. Hood used to be a defense attorney. He's just doing his job. He's defending somebody. That's why he's going after Mr. Porter. Mr. Porter, Miss Porter, I made the same mistake.
All right.
He doesn't want me to even consider pursuing the person he saw. With that in mind, who would he have been searching for? Just the person he was looking for?
Who's he defending?
You know what? What if Jimmy was the killer?
Yes.
What if Jimmy killed Virgil Black? But
Does
no.
that coincide with?
But that doesn't really make
Does that
sense,
coincide
though.
with the?
I'm already backtracking my theory because that doesn't really make sense because they were technically on the same side trying to get back at the Rivales family. Jimmy wouldn't have a reason. Okay, so not
Right.
him. He wouldn't be looking for his daughter because she was inside. I don't know I don't know who he would be looking for.
Well, the hint is he's defending someone.
Well, I don't know who he would be defending. Would he be defending Mr. Yossarian? But that doesn't really... I mean, he could have been looking for his neighbor because maybe he wanted to get help from his neighbor, but I don't know if that really makes sense. Because as Phoenix said, even if we said that... Well, we don't know that for sure. But Phoenix said that if we went along the lines of, oh, there were two men, then Mr. Hood would go after Mr. Yossarian instead of Miss Porter. So I feel like it's not him, but I'll try it. Yeah, it's not him. Mr. Hood, you're lying.
Oh, am I?
Yes.
Am I?
Yes. I mean, maybe.
It's possible, I suppose. But you don't seem to be anywhere near the right track to proving it.
Well, I tried calling him out and failed miserably. Okay. All right, so not Mr. Yossarian. Who would he be defending? I have no idea. I mean, the only person that logically makes sense would be his daughter, but she was in the house.
She was in the house. How do you know that?
Well, because he cut himself, and then she stayed inside, I believe. Well, I don't know if that was ever discussed.
Wait. How do you know that she stayed inside?
Oh. I just assumed that she would stay inside. I would assume that she would accidentally cut him and then run off because she feels bad, and she would go to her room.
Run off and go to her room?
Ah. I made an assumption. I assumed that she would stay inside. I didn't... Yeah. She could have ran outside. Oh, wait, no. That makes complete sense. She would cut him. She would feel bad. She would run out of the house because she feels so bad, and then he would go running out and looking for her.
There you go.
Oh, man. I had to really rack my brain for that one. I don't know why.
Another thing to keep in mind is that Hood and Jane's alibi is that they were home together. You're taking them at their word. You would take these two at their word, would you?
Ah, damn. Oh, he duped me. He completely duped me. He fooled me. I can't believe that. I cannot. Wow. And he's been lying this entire time. I believed him on that part. Wow. What a slippery, slippery snake. You didn't report the murder for a whole month. Now you're pursuing Miss Porter just because Trucy thinks you might have seen a woman. But really, you just wanted me to back down from a female suspect. You thought you knew the young woman you saw that night, and it wasn't Gladys Porter. You're trying to protect her.
Ouch with it! Say it, damn you!
Ooh.
You were looking for your daughter. Now we're getting him to crack.
So, Mr. Hood, you do have a composure button after all.
His tolerance meter just went off the charts. You saw her speaking to a strange man. Then the next day, you found the grave. It doesn't take an Einstein to connect these dots.
Gobshite! It weren't her I saw.
Then why did you leave your home to go into the woods?
Can't say I recall the reason, but do I need one? I can leave me house just as much as I please. I wasn't even gone that bloody long.
Your alibi and Jane's rest on the assumption that you two were together. If you weren't at home, neither of you is cleared. You or she could have been anywhere, even speaking to our mystery man.
You bloomin' twits! You can't just pull nonsense out of your arse. The two of us didn't kill no one. You're just grasping.
I must concur. His daughter's statement to the police closely matches his own. Are you sure about this?
Their statements would match if they conspired together. We know Mr. Hood was doing something out there. At the very least, this means his daughter was unsupervised the whole time he was gone. At most, she might not have been home to begin with.
I won't stand for none of this, no sir. We've got our alibis and you can't accuse neither of us. I even told you about the whole story the other day.
He's losing his cool.
The writing, man, Rapha had to do work to keep the writing, like Hood's dialogue, to be consistent with his dialect. Throwing in words like bloke and gobshite.
This man did his research.
Mm-hmm.
Or he could be Irish himself. I have no idea.
Jane and me had been having a late meal when she spilled something. We had to clean it up. It took us a wee bit to clean the spot. I cut myself while doing it. I left briefly for some reason, can't recall why. But I was only gone for a few minutes, just enough to see those two and run back. When I got back, me daughter was still happily cleaning her mess. And that's all I've got to say. Jane told just the same to the police.
The prosecution will confirm this. Both stories matched up well. At least in any matter related to the murder.
What's this about an injury? Where did you get hurt?
Cut me hand. It was just a wee accident. No need to worry, it weren't that bad.
Yesterday you said a glass bottle of grape juice, not grace jupe. Grape juice shattered, and that's how it happened. Dyslexia.
I sense a bunch of frames going all black in editing.
That's exactly what's gonna happen. I'm gonna have so much
Nice.
editing to do.
All right, you can do it. Phoenix Wright, what are you talking about? We all know what was in that bottle.
Don't you mean Mr. Phoenix, right? Exactly. Grape juice.
Sorry, Noah.
No, it's all good.
The contents don't matter much. Yes, the bottle broke and I cut myself helping clean it.
I would imagine you threw out the actual bottle quite some time ago.
Of course, that's what you do with broken glass, isn't it? That'd be mighty dangerous leaving it out.
A month's a long time for evidence to disappear. It's just Mr. Hood's word to go on. But if they're conspiring, of course he said the same thing as his daughter.
Jane's told the same story. If they match up, it'll be hard to fight. Disappearing evidence. Is that what happened? There certainly isn't much to go on. This guy. Can you get a load of this guy? Juice bottles aren't known for breaking easily. They're sturdier than you'd think. Probably for this very reason. She would have had to put a bit of force into it.
You say it were intentional. Well, I don't know what to tell you. It happened.
An accident? Or Jane getting ready for an Old West-style brawl? In the context of this
He is
case,
unhinged.
it doesn't matter. They have an alibi either way. Again, as I said, she looks really evil, but I bet she's a sweetheart at heart. She's not that bad. And likewise for Miss Porter. Well, better move on for now. How bad was it?
Nothing I couldn't treat myself. Didn't need no stitches or the like, but it were a pretty nasty cut, aye.
Did you go to a hospital?
Nah, not too fond of those places. Besides, there weren't no need to. I patched myself up just fine. Not the best work, but I got the job done.
There wouldn't be a hospital report or any paper trail for the wound. But if it really wasn't that bad, there would be no need for it. You just forgot? Man, those Benadryls are strong.
It were last month. Do you remember every little detail from that long ago?
Seeing two people at a murder scene seems important enough to remember.
And it was, but it right out overshadowed what came before. Everything before I left me home is a blank. Nothing matters compared to a murder.
You at least remembered cutting yourself.
Aye, because it was bloomin' painful.
This isn't getting anything useful out of him. Better continue on. You had to walk 1 kilometer and back. That only took a few minutes? This guy's a fucking athlete. Olympic runner.
The way home, I weren't just walking, let me tell you. All in all, I was only outside for 15-20 minutes. That doesn't give me enough time to kill a chap, clean the mess, and bury him. And Jane was in the house when I left there, and when I left in there when I got back. Just ask her. And before you say anything more, I deny that I was out looking for her. Think I'd remember something like that, I would. You'd have shown some evidence already if it were true, wouldn't you, Phoenix Wright?
We don't know nearly enough about how Virgil Black died. Nor do we have the evidence to prove anything. Any evidence at all. You just left her at home all alone?
Maybe it weren't the smartest choice, but she's a grown lass. She can handle herself. We live alone, so I don't normally need to worry about her. Besides, I'm sure you'd have done a few things you shouldn't have as well.
A few doesn't even begin to cover it.
Thank you for that, Francisca. You have no way of knowing what Jane was up to the whole time you were gone.
I suppose not, but she's a teenage girl. She can take care of herself for half an hour. Anyhow, she'd have to be mighty fast and sneaky to get to the murder scene ahead of me. That's what really matters, don't it? Funny, I recall this being a trial for murder, not poor parenting.
She wouldn't have to be fast at all if she was already out there. But is there any way to prove that?
Ah!
And once again, I can't find anything.
Aye, there's the face of a man who knows he's beaten.
If the defense has no further questions, I will have to assume they cannot disprove the alibi. Mr. Hood and his daughter were not apart long enough for there to be any doubt as to their innocence.
We're gonna pull out the gotcha minigame.
Further inquiry must be made into Miss Gladys Porter.
Oh, absurd! The defendant was the only suspect until this man took the stand!
He's really thrown the case out of whack, hasn't he?
Yep.
He is your witness. Did you not know what he might say?
Wow.
He's unpredictable. He must be removed immediately.
He must be held in contempt of court? Denied. We've yet to find anything contradicting his argument. If there's somebody other than the defendant is guilty, then so be it. There is nothing more to discuss.
Miss Porter's not gonna like this. If I'm right and these alibis are a sham, something must be off. We need some solid evidence to break through them. But the only thing which might clear that up would be... It's a long shot. Mr. Hood, would you mind showing me the court where you hurt yourself?
It would be me pleasure, lad. Here you are, take a look at it.
The witness wasn't lying about that. We checked. There is clearly a cut on his hand, likely from broken glass.
Wait. I can't remember. Is there more than one bloodstain on there? Like more than bloodstains that could belong to two different people? I'll keep it in mind.
He really did get hurt, but that proves his story.
Aye, and that cements our innocence. You best give up on it.
Who?
Oh, now I see why you all love to shout like that.
The judge? The judge did that?
Objection!
Yeah, boy.
Did the judge spot a contradiction?
I'm sorry, but I did have a question. I hope none of you mind. Witness, didn't you say you were hurt over a month ago? Why is your hand still wrapped up?
The judge came through.
Yup.
What a mad lad. Your Honor, that's...
Actually, a really good question.
Oh, you thought so? Thank you!
Witness, why do you still have it bandaged?
Rafa, thank you for having the judge be actually fucking cool. I mean, he is cool, but he is a giant goofball most of the time, so he gets to have one shining moment.
Exactly.
That's an excellent point.
I think I might have an idea why his hand is still bandaged. I'm saying all of these, but let me figure out which one it is first.
All right. While you do that, I'm going to go get water.
Okay, I'm going to say... I think it's probably this one. It's a different wound. It's either this one or this one. Is there anything else I have?
All right. Thanks for waiting.
Yeah, I have a new theory.
Do tell.
Virgil Black was stabbed at first. What the hell stabbed him? We don't have the murder weapon. What if he was shanked by this bottle?
Well then.
But that still brings up the question of how the hell his hand is still bandaged up. But I think I'm gonna say that a shovel wouldn't be able to cut him. So I would probably say it happened more recently. So I'm going to say that's the answer I want to go with, but I'm going to go through all these other ones first.
All right.
The cut was so serious that it still hasn't fully healed.
That isn't it. He said himself that it was mild enough he could fix it up at home. If it was that bad, he would have had to go to the hospital by now.
So it should have healed by now. Yeah. Our witness never got hurt. It's all just a big lie. He's Kokichi. Oh, that's not it.
He has a cut on his hand and we just saw it. I'd have made him remove the bandages for the cut if it were necessary.
I'm sure it won't be. We've already seen his bandage and the prosecution said the police checked it out.
Damn. Okay, different wound. The cut he has now isn't the same injury.
Very well. Answer me this. If it is truly a new cut, then why does it matter? The witness and his daughter corroborated that he cut himself once. Does it change anything that he did it a second time?
Clearly, I didn't cut myself on the defense's sharp wit.
Damn!
Oh.
Now that was unnecessary. Okay, now I hate you. Now I really hate you. That was mean. Come on, man. It was a nice try, Mr. Hood, but this was one lie you couldn't keep hidden. Let's keep in mind that I got that right again. The witness himself told us the cut wasn't serious. Only a hospital-worthy injury would still be visible or in need of bandages. Mr. Hood, did you think you were being sneaky when you concocted your little tale?
Concocted? Tale? Surely you're not suggesting I do anything devious.
You might if it was to give your daughter an alibi. I've no doubt you really did cut yourself on some broken glass. But it wasn't the night Virgil Black was murdered.
A perjurer, is it? Is that what you're saying I am?
Unfortunately, Finegan Hood, a man with your record cannot claim to be honest.
I'm trying to think. I feel like he has been involved in a case in the past. I'm trying to think of what it could be. I remember there being like an M&6 when we were in the past another case was mentioned. I can't remember. Maybe I'm remembering wrong. We'll see.
Record? What record? Miss Von Kammer, what are you saying?
The witness used to be an attorney. Also, I'm mimicking Von Karma's pose right now. But he is no longer because he was disbarred for evidence forgery. He has a history of lying in court, and now he's doing it again.
You'll discredit your own witness.
You're doing that yourself. I've known this whole time the cut on your hand couldn't be more than a few days old. I kept silent about it to see what you would try to do. You disappointed me.
Well, if it wasn't a month ago, when did it happen?
Prosecution says just a few days ago. Mr. Hood's told us a lot about a month back, so we know he was plenty busy. But looking back on it, isn't that strange? Why have we heard hardly anything from him about this event? That's true, he was at home, too. And if he was supposedly able to hear voices from fucking a kilometer away, he would have been able to hear the other voices from the recent murder, too.
What does it all mean?
When you cut yourself, what do you need to do?
Well, I suppose you need to wash it, sterilize it so that it doesn't get infected. And of course, wrap it up well.
And then you need to clean up whatever caused it. In this case, it was a broken bottle full of messy liquid. It could have gone everywhere. And yet, when I went to his home, I didn't see anything. It must have taken quite a while getting those stains out. Maybe an entire night?
Aye, seems about right.
You do have an alibi. I can't deny that. But it's for the wrong murder.
Blasted!
You cut yourself the night of the Rosencrantz murder. With several suspicious people fighting and running all around, you should have noticed. But of course, you wouldn't if you'd spent the entire time cleaning and fixing your hand.
Why on earth would he lie about an alibi that he already had?
He needed an alibi for Guildenstern, not Rosencrantz. He saw Jane a month back when Mr. Black was killed. They needed alibis for then, not later.
That makes sense.
I'm sure that Phoenix or Francisco would have spoken up about it earlier, but Judge, I love you.
Aww.
His daughter backed up his story, didn't she? That means she lied to the police too.
I mean, I love him regardless, because he's the judge, but that was amazing! If she wasn't with the witness, she could have been anywhere. She had to agree with whatever he came up with to stay safe. But now neither he nor Jane can be accounted for during the Black murder.
Strictly speaking, you've still yet to prove anything. And I'll admit to me alibis for Guildenstern's looking a tad weak. But as long as I've got an airtight story for one murder, all's well.
What do you have to say about your whereabouts for the Guildenstern case now?
Precisely the same as before, minus getting caught. I left the house for just a few minutes and then came right back. You might even say it works better for me this way. Don't know why I didn't think of it before. The same culprit killed both victims, is that it? Well, as you two have shown, Jane and me have got some great alibis for Mr. Rosencrantz. And until you prove me wrong, for Mr. Guildenstern too.
I did just prove that. Why did he lie about something so simple even the judge saw it? Now he might be arrested for perjury. Why would he make such an easily spotted mistake?
Could it just be a slip-up?
I don't think so. Mr. Hood's been extremely clever up until now. If it was just a slip-up, then why is he smiling?
Bad feeling. I've got a really bad feeling.
So do I, but what is his goal?
Me too. He meant for us to call out his lie. He's really Kokichi, okay.
Why make himself and Jane look guilty?
Don't you see? He didn't. I just proved they have an alibi, and like he said, I didn't even discredit his actual story. In fact, I strengthened it. Because Francisca and I proved it together, nobody's going to ever question any of it. In the jury's eyes, neither could possibly be the killer.
Bad feeling just got worse! Do you still think he's covering up?
Do I? Why else would he be pressing like this? A perjury sentence seems much better than one for murder. If that's the case, it would be completely rational to throw himself under the bus. With as little evidence as I have, I can never accuse either of them. Nobody else realizes it, but he still is running this whole trial.
The witness has admitted to perjury. Will the prosecution wish to amend their stance?
Why should we? He says he saw two people. One may or may not have been the suspect. And there is still the matter of Rosencrantz.
Aye, the Porter woman was there too.
She was not the killer. We've already accused that man.
Nobody's getting convicted until we have some answers. Witness, how can you accuse her of killing Rosencrantz? Where were you to see it?
Oh, thought I was cutting me hand, you said.
Exactly. If the bottle incident happened then and you stayed in your house, you wouldn't have had a clue what was going on outside. But we told him. We told him about Makoto. We told him.
Crap.
I know she was there. I know she's connected somehow. I know she's a liar. Because we told you. The argument's that the one of both crimes must be the killer. That is either her or your client.
Witness, I have a proposal to make.
Aye?
The prosecution will hold off on indicting you for perjury. But only if you can clear this up for us. You will testify thoroughly on any theories you have on Gladys Porter. Once the defense has disproven everything, the court will have no choice. We'll be back down to only a single suspect.
And if he doesn't prove me wrong?
Oh, he will. But if he doesn't...
You've got a deal, ma'am. Why don't we all quit the beating around the bush then? I know you can't disprove me seeing her in black, so it's time for something different. Let's go on with Mr. Rosencrantz. Gladys Porter's your killer. No matter what you think, I know enough to see that.
Okay.
We'll see about that.
Aye, Gladys Porter killed this Rosencrantz fella. Why else would she lie in court? To save herself. She killed the lad. The same person must be responsible for both deaths. Either her or your client. It's one of the two.
This will do nicely. The defense wants Gladys Porter cleared just as much as I do. Once he's done that, we will be back to only a single suspect and a guilty verdict. Wait, no, better yet, and a guilty verdict. There we go. What are you waiting for, Phoenix, Mr. Phoenix, right?
There you go.
I want the woman removed from suspicion immediately. I want my conviction.
Drawing attention to Yosari so Francisco would side with him. Just my luck. If I clear Miss Porter, we're back to square one. The trial's over. I need to make sure they both get through this next... I need to make sure they both get through this next testimony. I said it right the first time. Okay. You didn't see that.
Didn't need to. It's basic logic, lad. The killer needs to be at both crime scenes. That's what the prosecution says. By my count, 3 people were at the second murder, counting Rosencrantz. He's dead, so that leaves 2. 2 suspects you have. I'd choose wisely if I were you.
We already know why she lied. It was to get the defendant arrested.
That would be what she said, eh? Aye, wouldn't you if the reality was you killed a man? The woman wasn't just a witness. She's your killer.
The perjury I can't argue with. But Jimmy, would Miss Porter really kill him? No way on earth. I need to ask more about... Let's talk about the motive. Why do you suppose she would kill Mr. Jameson?
How should I know? All I know is it's happened. Besides, a motive might complete a case, but you could do just fine without one.
That depends. Under the right circumstance, a lack of motive might be just what I need. What should I do? Leave it alone for now. This is a weak argument. We still have no proof beyond your word that she was with Mr. Black.
'Twere your lass who proved they were a woman. Who might argue at the defense? If you want to accuse someone new, be my guest. You'll lose, though. Give me a bit of credit, Mr. Wright. I'm a smart man. If I thought you could call me on a lie, why would I risk it? I'd only do it if there were some pressing matter.
You know I can't confront you yet. I can't lose my head and jump it too far. But I still have enough to put him in his place for now. You don't know for sure who you saw. You even said yourself you didn't recognize either the man or the woman.
For good and stern. Even so, it seems to me the people at the Rosencrantz murder are all accounted for. Porter, me neighbour, and Rosencrantz himself. They're your only 3 suspects, lad.
There was a gap when Jameson was alone. Porter admitted this. This leaves an opening for a new person to...
You might as well drag in Sasquatch to testify. If there were another person there, the prosecution would have found him already.
If there was evidence of a fourth person, we would not be having this conversation. It's down to the defendant and his accuser. Choose carefully, Mr. Phoenix, right?
Surely there's an option C in here somewhere? His whole argument is set only touching on things we've discussed with him. If I'm going to trip him up, it has to be something he couldn't lie about. There's plenty of that, it's just a matter of what goes where. Okay, I have 2 ideas. First one is to bring out the card again. The second one is to press this, talk about the motive, and object to it because she was working with him. I'll try the card first because it takes less time. Nope. Okay. Let's talk about the evidence and the opportunity as well, actually. When did she have a chance to kill Mr. Jameson?
Ha! Oh, you're rich. Weren't she the bloomin' witness? I'd say being at the crime scene is a damn good opportunity.
Porter ran away for a few minutes to chase Mr. Usarian. But does that leave any time before or after? What should I do? It's hard to keep track of all this information in my head.
It's alright. You're doing well.
There's no evidence proving she did it.
You'll have to check with Madam Prosecutor. Remember, I was too busy treating me hand. Couldn't say if there was.
He's still doing the whole ignorance act. But there should be something pointing one way or the other. What should I do? I will try... I'll try... the thing with the motive. First. I'll disprove just that. Miss Porter didn't have a motive to kill him. Got it. Oh, no, wait. The music didn't stop. Oh, I think we have to counter all 3 of those.
Goody.
Porter was helping Mr. Jameson. It's kind of like a super objection, but... She admitted he lured her there, but it certainly wasn't to kill him.
You're just taking her word for it? You need some more proof than that. Tell me, can you truly show they were working together on anything?
It is a super objection, kind of. The wiretap. Jameson had Interpol set up a wiretap in the defendant's home.
And how is Porter connected with that?
She must be. I learned it from her.
Agent Webb requested permission to tap the phone line. If Gladys Potter knew about it, she must have been working with him.
Simply put, Mr. Hood, she wouldn't want him dead. Not when they had a common enemy.
I'll concede, for the time being.
The witness's argument is weaker without a given motive. Let's continue. Oh.
Thank you, witness, for your help. Let it be known Gladys Potter had no motive.
Wait, shit, no. We're doing exactly what she wants us to. Oh, I forgot about that.
But there was one man who did.
God damn it.
As the defense has said, Jameson helped track the suspect.
No.
He must have found out. What a perfect reason to kill someone.
Damn it. Ugh, I stepped right into that.
Do you give up? Don't worry, I'll make it quick and painless. This will be over soon.
I don't know what to do anymore. Because we don't really want to prove her wrong. Or no, we don't really want to prove Mr. Finegan wrong. If we prove him wrong, then the trial's over. Damn. Well, let's just keep trucking, I guess. Wait, no, wait. Wait, no. Let me press that again. I thought I saw a new dialogue. I already know why she lied. It was to get the defendant arrested. That would be what she said. The woman wasn't just a witness. She's a killer. Perjury I can't argue with, but Jimmy, did Miss Porter really kill him? No, that's the same dialogue. Evidence against her. There's no evidence proving she did it. I'll disprove just that. This evidence shows she's not the killer. But we're doing exactly what Francisca wants us to do. Damn. This shovel is the murder weapon, but it proves Miss Porter didn't kill Mr. Jameson.
Aye, now's that.
There's one important thing to realize about it. Doesn't have a prints. Oh, really? This shovel doesn't have Miss Porter's fingerprints.
So, what's that proof? Ever heard of gloves, me lad? Or a wiping? Not having prints on the weapon doesn't mean she didn't touch it.
Ah, and need I remind you whose prints were on it?
Not what I wanted to do. Yeah, it's broken, but that doesn't mean anything. Well, I want to try the wrong options. Oh, I want to try the wrong options. This shovel is broken.
I can say that. What's it supposed to mean?
It means it was flimsy, just like your testimony.
Are you lured to vague insults now? Even his honor could see through that.
Yes, I could. The shovel is indeed broken, but I don't see how that clears Miss Porter.
This shovel was used to kill both victims. These men died a month apart. Witness, whose shovel is this?
Looks to be my neighbor's. I borrowed it once on occasion.
Yes, it's not Miss Porter's, and that's the point. But this is not what we want to do. You'd have to be an idiot to kill somebody and hide the murder weapon in another person's house. Maybe once if you're desperate, but twice? Not on your life. It would have been discovered long before she could use it again.
Ouch! The same weapon?
Doesn't sound like Miss Porter could reasonably use it twice. The shovel would have been found, so she wouldn't have used it.
Otter's prints are not on the shovel, but guess whose are?
Yes, I know I'm falling directly into your trap. Don't rub it in my face. Back to this.
It would not be amiss for the suspect to hide it in his own home. His shovel, coated in blood and lying in his basement. How could he not be responsible?
Okay, think. How can I get out of this? She's right. It was stashed in his cellar, but something's odd about that. Oh no, it's gonna keep going. Well, there are unidentified fingerprints on it that we can discuss. But I would assume this is the right option, so I'll save this one first. Wait, let me see if the other options are incorrect. Yep, there we go. The shovel was in the basement, but other than that, it was in plain sight. Nobody really tried to hide it. If it were me, I'd want it somewhere safer. I'd want it as far away as possible.
Or, how about close enough you'd always know where it was? He didn't have time to hide it far away after murdering Jameson.
Isn't it strange who hid the shovel?
9.
If you were to kill somebody, wouldn't you want the murder weapon to be... Okay, that made more sense in my head.
Clearly.
Okay. Then I guess it's this one. What did we just discuss with the witness? If my client knew it was used on Mr. Black, he wouldn't just keep it lying around. It was already a murder weapon.
How should I know why he kept it?
You don't have an answer? Well, neither do I, because it doesn't make sense. What killer keeps a weapon with his prints in plain sight for over a month? No one, because that would be stupid. He didn't know Black had been killed with it.
Nice try, but these prints prove he killed Jameson. You don't need to know why he was foolish enough to not dispose of this shovel.
Fingerprints on top of the bloodstains. I remember that. I must side with the prosecution again.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I was onto something. I just know it. You used to be a lawyer, Mr. Hood. Here's a pop quiz for you. What are the 3 things you can use to convict a suspect?
That would be motive, opportunity, and evidence.
Seems you still remember some. But here's something you've apparently forgotten. Are you familiar with the phrase beyond a reasonable doubt?
Rings a bell.
It usually applies to a person's guilt, but I think now fits just as well. There is only so far you can stretch your story before it stops being credible.
Fine, shall we get it over with?
Do you admit defeat?
Aye, I'll do that. I've had enough. She didn't kill Rosencrantz.
And by extension...
Nor Guildenstern.
But that's what she's been waiting for.
That's it! If Gladys Potter is not the murderer, we have no choice but to give that guilty sentence. You two played your parts very well. Everything has been wrapped up perfectly.
We agreed there could be only 2 suspects.
9! There was only 1 to begin with.
I've delivered Mr. Yossarian right to her. We're back to 1 suspect. But is that still true? Not after today it isn't. Stop! It's not time for the verdict yet.
Bill, you just cut it out! Whatever possessed you to go this far?
He's no longer the only suspect. Have you forgotten everything we just spoke about? There's still 1 more person who might be the culprit. Huh. So, what I said in the chats in Discord about him not being evil, he might just be morally gray. I think I retract that now. I think he might be fucking evil. Mr. Hood, you're lying.
Ah, am I?
Yes. Oh no, this is the same dialogue. I was wrong. To killer, it's you. No, it's not to killer. Never mind. We talked about Jane. It's Jane. Mr. Hood's daughter, Jane.
Shut your trap! Me lass couldn't have...
Silence, both of you! How dare you do this? You will not muddy the case any further. Both murders are connected. I thought we agreed on that.
Jane has no alibi for the Black murder. The witness saw a woman and tried to cover for her by throwing suspicion on Miss Porter. I don't know if the 2 deaths are connected or not, but I do know this. Jane also had an opportunity to kill Mr. Jameson. Did she? Jameson? What does it say? No, that's just 11. Jimmy Murder's recent one, she ran out. Nope, it's not that.
You'd think it was, but no.
I have one more idea. Porter didn't see the killing blow.
Aha, dang it.
Really? Really? What? James, let me look at his autopsy report. Maybe we bring up the bottle this way? No.
This is kind of a stretch. Let's talk about this.
Okay.
How would Jane have an opportunity to kill Jameson?
Well,
When would she have the chance to?
that's a toughie. That's a toughie.
Well, we know how she would have gotten out of the house because of Hood's injury,
Yes.
but in order to kill Jameson, there had to be... What was going on with Jameson that night?
He called someone.
And who was that someone?
It was Yorsarian.
And were they the only two in the woods?
No, they were having their discussion. Then, I think Yorsarian ran off, and then Makoto followed him.
And Yossarian ran off, Makoto followed him,
And
which
that's
meant
that's
Jimmy...
that's when it could have happened, but I don't know what evidence proves that. The map?
No, not the map, but something does prove that Yossarian and Porter ran off.
The footprints. Okay.
There you go.
I feel like the map could have worked there, maybe, or the bottle. I don't know. Both Miss Porter and my client left the crime scene together. They were missing for several minutes while Jimmy was alone. Miss Porter claims he was dead when she came back. The defendant was nowhere to be seen. Where were Jane and Mr. Hood during that time?
The witness says she was in his house with him.
You still trust him? This lying, perjuring man who deliberately misled you?
It doesn't mean she killed him.
No, but it does throw that tiny sliver of doubt that I need. Beyond a reasonable doubt, Francisca. Can you prove somebody else didn't kill him while the other two were chasing each other?
Fool! I don't have to. He is guilty as sin, and you just can't see it. The jurist will decide his fate. Your Honor, now.
Now, does the prosecution rest?
It's covered everything there is. If the defense is so cocky, let's see how this ends.
Uh-oh. Maybe I pushed her too far. I have no idea who the jury would side with at this point.
Perhaps it is time then. Now, without any further ado. I guess I should be used to last-minute objections by now. Always interrupting my damn verdict. Well, who was it?
Mark! Hey, buddy.
It was me. I got your message.
Ah, yes. Did you locate Miss Porter?
Is she dead? Please tell me she's not dead.
Yes.
Has she been made aware that she was accused?
No. Gladys is...
No!
Sorry, Noah.
No, man. Oh, god damn it. Oh, I had an inkling this was gonna happen.
God, we are losing so many people in this.
I really liked her, too. Ugh.
Gladys is dead.
What?
Dead?
I had to look all over for her when she didn't respond to my calls. She wasn't home or anywhere. I decided to check the office one last time, and it was locked. But then I got a whiff of something behind the door. It smelled like blood.
So that entire story of her leaving was fabricated? Someone killed her in her office and set that up.
When was this?
The record for electronic door locks puts the last entry at 3:21 p.m. yesterday.
3:20. That's before...
He was dead before we even went to the office. He couldn't answer us because...
And I thought she was okay.
When did you last speak with her?
It was in the detention center. She told us she'd been looking into some murder case with Jameson. I think she must have known too much.
She confessed to working with him during the trial. Was that it?
Francisca, you have a dead state's witness on your hands. You know it has to tie in somehow.
A dead witness? It almost has to be connected. That's how it seems to me at first glance, at least.
Tell me that isn't enough doubt. Even for you.
Extends the trial. Search Gladys Potter's office. Find out why she was killed. But if nothing is found, I want a guilty verdict first thing tomorrow morning.
Court will adjourn.
I knew something bad would happen. I tried telling her not to leave. I did try. This just keeps getting worse and worse. Will these bodies never stop piling up? Miss Porter, Jimmy, Mr. Black and Agent Webb? Is it too late for me too? I have a better chance of unraveling this than anybody else at this point. Whoever killed Miss Porter did it for her connection to Jimmy. So many things have happened these past few months. Circulante, Mr. Webb's death and Cody's, Crane. You know what? This brings up a good question. Like, obviously, it could just be that Phoenix is the main character. But why hasn't Francisco Mendez come after us yet? Why hasn't he tried to kill us yet? We keep solving these cases. It would simply be easier to just kill Phoenix. Like, again, it could just be a thing of, like, he's the main character, but...
Why indeed.
And now this.
Store that thought away.
I'm putting that in the Mind Palace. I have this terrible feeling they're all related. Who is behind it all? What the fuck?
Good job. We made it through a tricky trial.
I'll fucking say.
Sorry I had to... I hope I wasn't too hand-holdy with with the footprints evidence.
It was like a bit hand-holdy, but I honestly think that last contradiction could have been written so that maybe the bottle could have been presented instead.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Had enough?
No, I'm ready to keep going, to be honest.
Alright, I can go a little longer.